Hello, darlings. Welcome back to Reading Madam Groove, and I'm still your humble host, Imani Sabali, Imani the Phantom, with a plenty AKAs, Big Little Baby, Poppy Energy, Spiritual Goddess, Vibes Cartel, and now your new favorite girl. And happy New Year to us. Yes, cheers. Yes to a fulfilling, prosperous, and inspiring, and joyous new year ahead. And of course, this is not one of those expensive sparkling wines. It's just a good old cider, and it's the specs of it's one of the perks of adulthood. I guess I'm old enough to pour anything in a wine glass and just sip. And today's segment is going to be all about titled relationship colors, the blues, the gray, and sprinkled with a little Q and hair sections with Imani. So the topic is attention and commitment. Well, like I said, relationship colors, the blues, the blues, the mellow moments, and the grays. Those are like those little areas that we often miss, maybe because we don't know better, or because we've not broadened our mindset enough about certain areas. So we're going to be discussing that. So attention and commitment, and my topic question is, what do you think about attention and commitment? What comes to your mind when you hear attention, commitment? I mean, relationship wise, of course. Are they interwoven? Is there a clear line or a thin line between both? And well, of course, question is usually sent out to selected group. This time around I made it 3 women and 3 men, or you can say 3 guys and 3 ladies. It's like data collection, hear from both parties, like make it even and then see what the other, it helps shed more light and gives us more insight into probably what runs into maybe an average man's mind or an average woman's mind. And then, so as I sent out questions, so, and of course I get the response, and I share with you what people have to say about this particular topic, attention and commitment. And then we're gonna be listening to just that, and then I get to say what my own view is. Like I said in my introduction video, that we get to connect, share life and life experiences and wisdom and knowledge, and then I tell you what I think or what I've learned so far, and then you share with me, we bond. I also added a sub question to that question. Goes by also in a case of lack of attention. Do you think the one who feels lacking of it should demand attention? Do you think the person who feels he or she is not receiving adequate or enough attention should ask their partner? And then the first respondent here would be Temilade. She goes by Temilade on Instagram. I think, in her words, I think both attention and commitment in a relationship are intentional. I agree with that. Very, very intentional. You have to be intentional about it. Thus, they are slightly different. And why is because I can give you all the attention you want and still not be committed to the relationship for some reasons. In brackets, I may just be lonely at the time I was giving you all the attention. And sis, speaking real facts. Like that she described there is a real life issue. Like things like this happen, like I won't say all the time, but they happen. Also I would like to add, like in a case whereby somebody's giving you attention because they're probably lonely and they need somebody to talk to or chill with. Or in a case of somebody's trying to get the coochie or the cookie. Or somebody might just be trying to get the dough. I don't know who that somebody is. Situation or can change anytime, and we could often switch places anytime. However, she continues. However, when you're committed to a relationship, attention can never be absent. You're committed to making it work, making him or her happy, sacrificing your all. In view of that, you're also giving your attention. I want to agree that there is a clear line between them, but then you can't say you're committed to a relationship and not give attention. So I will go with a thin line. Yeah, she's speaking some real facts. in that. I think, and then the answer to the sub question, the other question, I think if there was in the beginning no longer, then you can call one's attention to it by communicating with your partner. If it then continues to be one-sided attention, you don't belong there. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much, Temilade. I like it when people are, spitting real fat, keeping it 100. What she said in there is real. I hope somebody somewhere at least catches on and then gets the message. First and foremost, what's the attention? What's commitment? I'm not going to go on and start quoting some dictionary words for you. Don't think we're in that class. I don't know book. It's been a while since I made it a class, so I'm just going to keep it real and keep it simple, and especially keep it to this context relationship. I guess attention for me, in my opinion, I'd say in a relationship is you giving the right energy, the right vibes, the right attitude, to making a relationship work, to the person with whom you feel you want to be with, or the person you want to be with. And then commitment, I guess in a way it's interwoven, because commitment is what you need commitment to keep up with that, to keep up with those energy, those vibes, those attitude that you need to keep your relationship going. So commitment is what helps you stay on track, keeps you focused, like don't lose guard though. No. Don't relax in the laurels or something. Don't keep it, keep this fire working. For me, commitment, I would then say, is the spark to your relationship, along with some other things. But I guess in a way, when you have commitment, the rest will fall in. So commitment, I would say, is the spark you need to have your relationship, to get your relationship going. It's a pleasure to have you here with me. So, and then we move to the next person, the next responder. She goes by Gagnanti. I'm sorry, Gagnant Katie, Gagnant _ Katie on Instagram. I think how that you may talk about. I hope I got it right. So she goes to determine whether attention and commitment are interwoven, or there's a clear or thin line between them. Depends on certain situations. Of course, like I said earlier, situations often changes, and then one thing that I've learned so far in life is to keep an open mind. Life, I've discovered, is not some black and white, not even with this speck of gray. I think it's like it's a rainbow, or a color palette. In there you're gonna find the black, the white, the gray, the blues, the purple, the red, the rainbow. Life is just like, sometimes you never know. Just when you think you have it all figured out, just when you think you have your hand on it, you just gotta stay conscious and stay mindful, and keep an insightful ear to the ground, or mind to your relationship, or to whatever is going around you, and then you'll be getting the life messages that you need to get. So ordinary, both ideas could be said to be interwoven, since they both are about expanding energy and focus into the relationship. Just like I was saying earlier, your attention is I think both, or is about you giving the right vibes, giving the right energy, giving the right focus to the relationship. The difference between them becomes apparent as attention gets threatening in the sense that it could cause heartache for either or both parties. Of course, in the case of lack of attention, or when it's not being given enough, or lack of commitment, there's bound to be heartache. Somebody's going to be feeling, of course you're going to be hurt, and somebody's going to have heartache, and then you're going to be demanding, and then it's just going to cause some ruckus. Life is a pot of beans with some corn and walaguadu. So and for instance, failing to comment, I think, thus attention could be positive or negative. It could be normal, abnormal, enough for choking. Kill me with the grammar. Sis be spitting some facts. Commitment, on the other hand, is always about focusing on how to keep the relationship moving. It's neither positive or negative. Well, I think just like I said, it's about how it could be interwoven in the sense that they often go on the same route, but a thin line in the sense that at some point in time, one of them gets less, I think, to be honest with each other, one of them gets less with time. We just hope that the one who gets less is the one that is not the one that's needed the most. Excuse me, I lost myself a little while there trying to what I'm trying to say, make sure I'm not saying some nonsense. Before you pick an offense, or before, of course you have a right to pick an offense because somebody is not doing right by you, or somebody has broken some promises, or is wavering on on trust, or commitment. So before you make it out to be a big issue, first you need to hear what the other person is to say. The first two responders were ladies. Now it's going to be, like I said earlier, 3 ladies and 3 guys with whom I collected the data from. So the next one here is going to be Aniyi K Lexi at Aniyi_Samson on Instagram. Thank you for joining us. K Lexi, as I fondly call him. The question again, if at this point, in case you're just joining us, or you lost, you just got lost in between all of that. The question and the topic for today, is attention and commitment. And the topic question is, what do you think? Excuse me. What do you think about attention and commitment? Are they interwoven? What or is there a clear or thin line between them? What comes to your mind? To you out there watching, Kule goes demanding for, well, I would not say typical men, because some men like to get into the details, and some like to keep it real and keep it simple. So it's just some 2 sentence or 1 sentence here. He just went straight to like whatever point he was trying to make. Thank you so much. And demanding for attention should not occur in the first place if both of them are really love themselves. Well, everyone has a right to their opinion, and I'm not going to go while I have 1 or 2 things to say. I think that would be as a result of his the status quo of his mind. Of his mind. So for now, I guess, or so far so good, that's what I think it is. And it's neither, for him, it's neither interwoven or a thing. Like, he just wants to say to you that if you love your partner, if you love them, truly love them like you claim, there must not be a case whereby one is going to be demanding attention. On period. Bro said on period. So whoever is listening, I hope you got that message. I like that some people just don't want to come. They just, they keep it 100. Thank you so much, Cooney. And then the next would be Sheung, my prof. This one down there bothered me with grammar. I had me thinking, how do I explain this? I had to grab some dictionary. Thank you, Shay, for joining me. Sheung goes by Plucky Mind on Instagram at Plucky_Mind. Again, well, he answered and said that seeking attention then could be interpreted as either the seeker's psychological ineptitude or as a result of a person's partner's lack of commitment. Did you get that? I told you, I said person's a prof. I think in case you missed what our prof was saying, she might kill me. Again, I'm going to go over it and then clearly, and then hope you're going to get what he's trying to say. Then little by little. Seeking attention then could be interpreted as either the seeker's psychological ineptitude or as a result of a person's partner's lack of commitment. So I'm going to take that and dissect it and put it into two parts. So the first would be what's a psychological ineptitude, in case you know that some people might not know, is when somebody is lacking of particular skills or ability in their mind or mindset, or what have you. So for me, I would say, in a way, a person who is demanding attention, psychological ineptitude would be maybe a trauma experience of in a way we are all fucked up. Excuse my French. Like, some of us has been jaded, but we've been jaded or jinxed by our past experiences for good, even though we all go through things and we just need to learn to unlearn and relearn at some point. So that kind of partner who has the ineptitude would then, maybe somebody who has not healed from past experiences, project the trauma of the past experiences into the current relation. It means that a partner who is dealing with somebody like that has to just get their A game on. Because, I hate to say it, but any shortcoming would just would lead to, the person feeling like, or shortcoming in terms of attention would lead the person feel, the partner who suffers this particular ineptness would then be feeling like they're not getting enough. For them, I think they want all or nothing. Like they don't want to compromise in between, maybe because of what experience they've suffered. Of course, they have a right to feel that way. I mean, if you've gone to one shitty whatever, or one or the other, trauma is no joke. So, but then it depends. It's not up to. I hope the person who's dealing with them knows they have that kind of ineptness before they go into a relationship, so the person can then, probably get them to talk, and then that's another thing entirely, another topic entirely, communicate and then, reassure them, or, help them get a better view or clear understanding of things, of the perspective. So the second part would be as a result of a person's partner's lack of commitment. Some people just cannot they just cannot commit for the lack of them. Some people just don't know how to come to for other persons. I mean, maybe they do it intentionally, maybe they just don't know how, or they are also psychologically lacking in that aspect. But, whatever the case may be, what is bad is definitely bad. So, I hope we don't fall into things like that. Some people have been, we all, have been through something at one point of the time on, and I hope whoever's dealing with a non-committed partner finds a solution, or I'm not going to tell you what the solution is going to be, but it's not fair on anybody to be demanding attention and asking the other person to commit to them. Like, Abba, come on. If you wanted them enough to want to be with them in the first place, so what is wrong with you? But some of us are just not normal. So that's that about that. I hope we understand what Sheil was trying to say. Thank you very much, Sheil. Thank you for joining us. Hope to have you join us next time. And then we move on to the second to the last responder, a guy as well. So the first two ones were ladies. This first, then the third, and then the fourth is where guys, and then this one is a guy as well. Then we have one more lady to go. Thanks for staying with me, and again it's still reading Mind and Groove with the humble host Imani La Phantom. Thank you. So it goes by his name is Wally Jeremiah, and it goes by Jerry O Forever on Instagram. Thank you for Jerry for joining us. And then it goes in his words: if a guy or a lady is committed to their significant other, it automatically generates a certain degree of attention through that. As much attention as possible. Commitment we do that. Commitment also breeds a certain level of loyalty. No jokes, man. No jokes. You're right about that. And he also answers the other question. Also, in the case of lack of attention, do you think the one who feels lacking of it should demand attention? It depends on the dynamics of their relationship. Yeah, no lie. So it said in this case, if the person who feels lacking of attention, should demand an answer, try to talk to the other person, and then if the other person is okay, I like that they use the word okay. Are you normal? If you're normal, then stop acting like you're not normal. That's just jokes aside. I think it's trying to say, if you're going through things, I think in his way, okay, we did have we had like a lengthy conversation, aside that, digressing a little in the, just examining, like perspective and things. Like I said, at this point in time, life is not just it's just not clear and cut. I mean, sometimes it's not. We want it to be. See, I'm a perfect example of somebody who wants it to be clear and cut. So I think we had this conversation where he was saying about how maybe the person who is not giving enough commitment might be going through certain things, or maybe it might be health issues, might be certain issues. But when the other person tries to communicate with them and demands, and then the only way to know sometimes may be calling their attention to it, because you don't read minds, neither do they read your own mind as well. They might just be handling that particular situation the best way they thought they could be handling it. So then it's up to you to now call their attention, and then they too, if they are normal, if he or she is okay, and all is well with them, earthwise or what have you, then why? You must say something. What is going on? I guess it all boils down to you asking. Communication. That's another topic over there. So I guess I like the fact that, most of the responders and I mean, I wouldn't say we share the same mindset, but it's always fun to have people whose view is not so far from yours in life around you. We're not to cuddle whatever. I mean, to feel safe or be comfortable. Of course, it's good to have people challenge your mindset as well. But then, if you're not going towards the same route, if you're not going, yeah, at least you're going to the same destination. If you're not going towards the same destination, or you're at least taking the same route, I think that's, for me, that's what it is. So and then it's just, I would like to digress a little bit there. Like I said, myself and Wally had like a lengthy conversation. I get it. Sometimes life sucks. Sometimes we deal with certain things, and the best way for some of us to deal with that is to recoil like a snail and go into our shell, because we're trying to deal with it as much as the best way we could, and trying to maybe protect the other person. But when you give up, when you choose to go with someone, I think in a way you've given up your highs for us, for we. So whatever is going on with you is definitely going to affect the other person, because whether you tell them or not, they're still going to get affected by your silence and you withdrawing from the pattern with which you've kept, or not showing enough attention or not giving enough commitment. Of course, the other person needs to find out what's going on with you first, and then try to be as understanding as possible. Maybe try to get you to empathize with you, understand, see from your own perspective as well. We need to all learn to see beyond, and beyond our noses as well, as well. So, but then, for how long do you want to be in that state of maybe grief, or maybe you have a right to recall into your shell? And then sometimes, they say a problem shared is halved. Sometimes sharing your problem with the other person just makes it less menacing, less big or less scary or what have you. And then the other person might even have a solution. But even if they don't have it, just share it, let it out in the open. It's a two people thing, not just you usual. Well, unless of course, I don't know. I guess I hope whoever's listening gets the message I'm trying to say. Well, I do know. I'm just trying to say. Don't just no matter how reasonable your excuse might be, not being committed to the person you promised to be committed to, or you love, or you claim to love, it's just bad. What's bad is bad. It is what it is, yeah. So once again, thank you, Wally, for joining us. To catch you next time. And the last but not the least responder is a lady, like I said, Hope. Goes by Hope. Where I'm sorry. She goes by Hope. Where I hope I didn't bother your name, sis. And I think it's the right time I learned to pronounce your name properly. So in our words, I think the two are different. Attention shifts based on how one feels at a particular time or moment. Like, I don't know, my responders are just wow. What a wow, like it's wowly. I don't know if that's a word, but they have me like feeling like wow, like wowed. Yeah, it's the word. That sounds about right. That sounds more like it. Like it's all brilliant nuggets that they're here to drop. So I don't know if you're joining us, whoever's watching, kindly just probably, even myself, I'm learning it. I've learned a thing or two from all they've had to say, added it to my arsenal of wisdom, or things that the nuggets that I'm using to get by in life. So you might want to maybe take a pen and take down a nugget or two. So Hope says, I think the two are different. Attention shifts based on how one feels at a particular time or moment, but commitment is constant. It has to be important. You get why? Commitment has to be constant. I think that the problem lies the most, where, I mean, the problem is, I mean, the view problem would be when there's a lack of commitment. It's a view issue. No compromise that one. You need to either get it or you're not there. So again, she goes, someone cannot show you the attention you need, but they are still committed to the relationship. You have to show some attention. Okay, this is definitely about Ops, view. So someone cannot show you the attention you need, but they are still committed to the relationship. Maybe they have a busy week, just like I said earlier. Maybe, like what Wally was trying to portray as well, that maybe the shortcoming at that moment will be as a result of certain things, but let's just hope it doesn't become an habit. That's it. That's going to be a view problem. Wahala. Like, let's just hope it doesn't become an habit. Like, whatever it is that is going on gets sorted as soon as possible, or you at least make another commitment to try and make your relationship with the other person work as well. We need to learn to compartmentalize. We all need to learn to manage our lives, personal lives or whatever life, and just so it's going to be imbalanced though. Your scale must not be tipping to one side. It has to be balanced. They say life has no balance, but you must find at least whether a modicum or just a little bit balance. You need to. So maybe they are having a busy week, or they are going through something that they need alone space. That too, sometimes you need a little space. I said I said it earlier, take all the time that you need, but don't take forever. No, I don't have all the time in the world. Neither do you. Commitment, and then on she continues, commitment is not passed on emotion, it's a decision. One decides to stay committed or not, regardless of how they feel. That comes to what I'm saying. I mean, maybe it's not selfish, it's commonsensical. Like, no, reason it. Think beyond your whatever, think beyond yourself, think beyond whatever issue that you're dealing with at that moment. Think about you've committed yourself to somebody, to a task, to something, and your emotions should not dictate that. So because we are sad, if I'm sad and you're sad, and we decide to be not committed, we don't have anything going on. If you're mad and I'm mad and we decided to we got nothing going. And if it's worth having, is worth working for. And the commitment is just you coming, like putting, making it work. I mean, deciding to keep the same view effort no matter what is going on. They say it's for better for us. I mean, we're not talking about marriage here, but marriage is the result of a healthy relationship. Please. Marriage is not standing on its own. It's a continuation of what habits and whatever you've cultivated in the relationship. Unless, of course, then you didn't do any cutting or whatever, you just jumped into it. Which again, you still have to do a little cutting in your marriage to go through all of this process of committing and showing attention, to the other or for the other person. So she says it's not based on how one decides to stay committed or not, regardless of how they feel. On the other hand, attention is emotion based. You can sense that someone is not giving you the attention. Of course, don't just bring attention when you're coming to my relationship. Bring commitment too, because then, like I said, maybe you're having a headache. Maybe we have this per hour time, time for each other, whatever, and then you're having a headache, you decide to take time off for yourself. Of course, it's expected. So that in a way, your emotion dictates your attention. But then we need to make sure that commitment is stronger than the attention. Like I said earlier on, like, let's just make sure that what is going to, at the long run, I think maybe attention might be dwindling a little bit, because maybe then real life issues will happen. We will not be there 24/7. But then commitment gets us all the way. So it's not a decision. One decides to stay committed. Okay, I've been to all of that, and then she goes, say two people get married. As if I knew she was going to. Lord have mercy. I'm so in tune with my people. Thank you, Hope. Say two people get married. At that point, they've signed a commitment. There are days they won't feel close, but the commitment they made still stands. It has to stand. We both committed to be in this together. We gotta make it work. Tooth or nails, or tooth and nail, whatever that is. Like, It's a commitment. Love is not a feeling, it's not an emotion. It's a commitment. It's me and you coming together daily, every day, every moment to say we are going to work for this. We're going to make it work against all odds. Come rain, come sunshine. Of course, there are days, which is why, when I say the title of today's segment is relationship colors, the blues, the grays. The blues is the mellow moment, the times when things are not going smoothly, when things are going like this galloping, or maybe there's so many. Of course, there's going to be so many potholes or road bumps. In your way along the line. The gray is you trying to make sure the areas that are not clear to you does not disrupt what you got going on. So commitment has to stand. It has to stand though. If you are going to, it's a long, you see, we are in need for the long haul. Fight to finish. We will fight and make up. We will make up and fight. Just so we make sure that we keep working, we stay working for what we committed to. We stay working, we stay committed to it. Thank you very much all. Thank you for joining us. And that would be all for the questions. I think I try to at least, each question, each response I'm getting, I try to at least chip in my ideas or what I think too, so I don't have to, take too much of your time as well. If you're still with us, I hope you're still with us. And this is still Reading Mind and Groove, and I'm still your uncle awesome Imani La Phantom, Imani with the plenty AKs, the vibes cartel, the big little baby, the poppy energy, the vibe, the spiritual goddess, Imani Asada Sabali, and of course your new favorite girl. I see a couple of comments on my last vlog, the introduction video, where people say, they got the. I like the fact that they got the wing of it, and I'm the latest favorite girl in town. I hope we keep it that way. This is still Reading Mind and Groove, and then we're going to be moving to the Q&A section with Imani questions. If you don't know, Q&A means question and answer. So on to the Q&A section. This time around, to keep, as much as I love spending so much time with you guys, sharing and bonding and connecting, we still gotta keep it real sharp, chop, time factor, and then try to minimize it as much as possible. Of course, plenty of time I'm going to be here as much as possible. God help me. Amen to that. So for this question and answer, I took in only 3 questions. Of course, I don't know, my people, they just know how to make, like, one person would probably pack 10 persons worth of question. The Kauda at Kauda Temitoko on Instagram goes, culturally we Yoruba people, likewise many other ethnic groups and nations, believe early marriage is beneficial, especially in the aspect of procreation. Well, Lord have mercy, I guess you've been getting the talks from people. How have you been dealing with the pressure? Or on the other hand, if you haven't been pressured, let me be the one to thrust some pressure on you. When are you getting married? Nah, I'm laughing and tearing. Also, what is your perception of marriage? A fantasy, societal, religious construct, or a necessity? Any other talk about it, please. Oh Lord of mercy. You can tell these people are going to school, and at least they the school passed through them as well. All this grammar. I can't keep up. I can't really keep up. English is not my first language, but I'll try. Lord of mercy. I don't know if I should repeat all of that, but I hope you got it. She's asking me that we people, especially Africans, we are often the result of our cultural and upbringing and stuff, and then religious practices. So culturally, we Yoruba people, I'm Yoruba, in case you don't know, that Yoruba girl. So culturally, we Yoruba people, likewise many other ethnic groups, but trust me, Yoruba or not, I think it's African. I think it's something relative between Africans, within between Nigerians. And other groups will feel the same way too. I think it's like more like a universal problem, Seth, if you ask me. marriage, it affects every race and every culture and every religion. So Yoruba people, like I was saying, so I think she's trying to ask me that the Yorubas or the Africans or maybe certain people of certain belief, regards marriage as high and mighty, and then they say it's a must for you to even if you want to procreate, that is, excuse me, bring in more babies and bring in more lives and keep the dice or keep the lineage or whatever rolling, that you must, and I mean you have to get married. And then she's asking me that, in that case, have I been getting talks lately from people telling me or talking, asking me to get married or asking me when I'm going to marry? Do I feel pressured by the talks? And if they've not been pressuring me or if there's not been talks, she wants to be the first person to not dash me pressure, to carry pressure and put onto my shoulder. And then she asked, when am I getting married? Kauda, thank you. There is God. My God will repay you. This is this now. I like this. Well, true that people of culture, people of religion, or people of particular race often see marriage. Of course, marriage is a huge deal. I mean, no kidding. Who am I deceiving? It's a huge deal. It's high and mighty, because if you get it right and if you don't get it right, it's huge, because it shapes your life, ends, and it becomes a reality that God help you, that you're able to manage. So if it's a good reality, then we are here for the reality show. We will enjoy very well. You said you enjoy. Both the viewers and you in it would enjoy. Well, as a young baby girl, well, honestly speaking, I don't know. I think I would not say that people have not been saying anything, maybe even since like maybe 2 years ago or thereabout, or people have not been asking me, certain things, or and then to say, let me cut that short, my dear, you might try, not for the lack of not trying. You cannot give me pressure, what I mean. No boiling point over here. No, I gotta give it to you, since you really, really try. Like, you packed some main punches. I saw it, and we both had that moment. Like, I was laughing. This was sort of like I didn't expect it, but at the same time, it was funny. I found, and then I wasn't shocked per se, because I guess maybe in a way I expect people to be, saying things like this to me, or it's about time. I know one or two persons who has been disturbing me or who has been saying it. I've tried to hammer it into my ears. But one thing about me is, once I made my peace over something, I would consider what you have to say, but if it's not in line with my truth, you are just saying it. So on this topic, in this matter, I've made my peace a while back, not now. So my peace is my peace, darling. Anybody can try. They cannot pressure me into marriage, of all places. Pressure me to get rich, say, maybe I might even allow it. But I take no pressure from anybody. Pressure me into maybe having fun. I'm in need of aggressive fun lately. I might even consider that, but pressure me into marriage? No, nobody can pressure me. And like I said, one or two persons has been saying it, but of course they are saying it. It is what it is. So, and when am I getting married, sis? When o'clock, when God says it's the right time. I mean, even though we fight for at least a modicum of control in our life, we try to be in control, but to be honest, are we actually in control? Are we the one driving the car? I mean, the car that consists of our life is God, though. So if you get married today, it's because God wants it to happen that day. If you're getting married tomorrow, it's because God wants it to happen. And if it hasn't happened yet, then it's not time. It's there for me. So when am I getting married? I don't know exactly when. It might be tomorrow. It might even be yesterday. Don't jokes. I play too much. I mean, I don't know when it might be, but it's not up to me. That's all I need to say. So my perception of marriage, like I said, it's a huge deal, is all I need to say. Oh, so she asked if it's a fantasy, if it's societal, if it's religious construct. It is what it is. It is what it is to you, to whomever is in a marriage or going into a marriage. You need to define life for your own times. Find your own truth, find your own peace, and work with it. And it's going to set you free and bring you joy. So for me, A fantasy per se, a fantasy would not be, it won't depict reality. So I wouldn't say fantasy. Of course, I want the sweet moment as well. I'm a baby girl. Sweet 16 like me, 16-year-old girl like me. So societal, for some it is. Some make it out to be, but for me it's not. I could care none for what society thinks. Society is not going to run my marriage for me or run my life for me. Society exists and I exist. Guano, thank you. So religious, the same answer that goes for society goes for religion as well. So for me it's just, I don't know. I do know, but it's when it happens it's going to happen, and I pray for the strength to keep making the best decisions. That's just it. So for me, I would say it's a beautiful thing. That can turn sour. Yeah. No, it's, I think I found the perfect word. I think it's an oxymoron. I think it's a bittersweet experience. For me, it's a bittersweet feeling. That's what it is to me. With its ups and downs, the blues and whatever rainbow, the good, the bad, the ugly times. But that's what makes it beautiful. It's a beautiful experience if you're going on that journey with the right person. So thank you so much, Kauda. Thank you for joining me again. In the Q&A section, you came out too for me, sis. Thank you so much. So the second question would be Skinny Superman. my baby boy. Myself and Skinny Superman, aka Andrea Zai, we go a long way. We've been buddies from high school. Yeah, that's a long way. It goes by at I am Andre Zai on Instagram. So his question is, how do you deal with unwarranted and unnecessary expectations and pressure? I think I'm so in tune with the universe and then with things around me. These people don't even know what the other person is saying, and yet I feel like everything they've been saying is not so like far-fetched from each other. Like, talk about pressure, talk about intentions, talk about wow. It's always okay to stay mindful no matter what is going on around you. Like, stay mindful of everything going on around you. You're going to see patterns. I'm a believer of patterns. I see patterns every day. I see it everywhere, in every little thing. Like, because I've decided to stay mindful and conscious of my life and of the happenings around me. So the question is almost similar, in a different way, but at the same time, God is good. So his question again is, how do you deal with unwarranted and unnecessary expectations and pressure? I think I was like, I don't understand. And then he sent me a voice note explaining that we won't be playing that because it's going to, get in the way of the audio and stuff. And then you might not even hear clearly, so that might not be a point too. So, like I said though, see, you see that song, I got a pretty lady with no like, no stress. She got a but she needs a love. That lady is moi, is me. See, and then you see like I talk about patterns and being in tune with the universe. You get messages from everywhere, from music, from movies, from books, from anything. You see in his song, and when he kept saying, I think that particular song or some song I'm talking about Wizkid in his album, when he kept saying he's seen issues where pressure makes man go mad or whatever. I've seen pressure, I've tasted pressure. So my new resolve, my new peace of mind, this new pressure thing, you get why. And it's been long overdue. Anybody who's faced one pressure or the other would know that you need to take control of your life. At least have a modicum of control on stress or whatever it is that is a source and generating pressure. No, you stop that pressure. No boiling point. So at some point in my life I was stressed. There were pressures, not necessarily. So in his voice note he asked me maybe pressure from family, pressure from friends, or maybe pressure from work, or from life. And he said, I think he even was being considered, he said, especially for somebody like me, with me being far away from home, it's not like a miscommunication between myself and people, things that would generate pressure, unnecessary pressure. No pressure is necessary, so don't allow it. But yes, yes and no. I won't say I've not had my share of pressure. I did, maybe not necessarily from people, from just my not knowing how to manage my life, my emotions. Maybe knowing not when to say no to certain things, not knowing when to put my foot on the ground against certain issues. Just not knowing how to be in charge. Not ride shotgun on my life, like be the one doing the driving. I mean, of course, God is doing the driving, but with God's direction, actually, or maybe me not listening to God's voice, because God has always been trying to tell me, listen, child, you were not made for pressure. Like, baby girl, you are my daughter, my servant, with whom I'm well pleased. Don't take no pressure. Chill. Just a bottle of Henny and Henny. Like, thank God say, like in Normale's voice, thank God say God is not ungodly. God has always remained godly. Because now they always come through. So which is why I need to flex sometimes. I need to try sometimes with a little Henny and ice. I don't take no alcohol. But of course, if it's a sparkling cider, put some ice in there. I'm going to be chilling. But lately, I mean, like, my new resolve, I can't say exactly when I got to that point, but the moment I got there, I realized that I would be taking no pressure from anybody, not from society. No disrespect though, not even from family, because I exist to make meaning to those things, to those other people. But if I wound myself with pressure, in a way it betrays the whole whatever. I need to learn to not take, they might not even mean it, try to pressure me or people or things. Of course, life, if you ask life will probably tell us, I didn't mean to pressure you. But it's just maybe you took it way far, beyond what I meant. So which I guess action and reaction, you need to learn how to react to things in life. I think action and reaction is one of those lessons I've had to learn. Of course, people might throw stones at me. How do I react to it? I can either gather those stones and then fire catapult, or make something big, build something, and then build something out of it, or cower, start crying. Of course, I'm going to be injured, or it's going to hurt, but I choose peace, joy over pressure of any kind. No pressure. It's to be taken. Amen. And I have chosen to stay. That is my relationship. My relationship is no pressure. Me, I've decided to stay committed to no pressure relationship. Like, I've decided to stay committed to it. Like, baby girl, the relationship I'm having with myself in my life is a case of no pressure and peace always. Joy over everything. Like, peace, my nigga, peace. Like, of course, just try not to. Not try, because it's of what point will I let things get me and break me down? No, there's so much fun and so much joy to be had. So thank you, baby girl. I don't know, I hope I didn't digress too much or deflect too much. I hope you got the message. I hope that answers your question, and then answers that anybody watching gets the point I was trying to make as well. So pressure is relative and is not unheard of. But at the same time, we need to learn to how we react to certain things. And, our reaction has to be of the positive one. So thank you so much, Skinny Superman Andrew Zai, and hope to have you with us in another segment. You've always come through, baby. Thank you. So I would like to add, in case of pressure, to anybody out there going through one pressure or the other, I need you to remember that in my African tone, in my Nigerian tone, problem will they finish. That literally translates to the fact that problem is never ending. So if you kill yourself over one problem, you won't live to overcome that and then go through another lesson, because problems, maybe they're like lessons. Like I said, reactions, let's see them as lessons, unnecessary lessons that we have to go through in life to maybe learn more or even acquire these lessons. It could be a blessing into disguise. So if you kill yourself over one, you will not be able to overcome the rest though. We have to be overcomers. For those of you that have dirty mind, I meant what I meant, overcome problems. So problem no dey finish you. So you need to jaye. It means that problem is never ending, issues are never ending. Life is always life and its vices are always going to happen. So you need to learn how to de-stress. D-E-D-E and stress. You mean learn. If you have a boiling point, then might as well find a cooling point. It's okay. I guess you no matter have a boiling point, but you might as well find with the same energy find a cooling point. So when the boiling point gets, you turn it off. Look at the weather. Look at nature, for instance. Of course, there are cold times, there are summer times, there is wind. I guess that's the balance, is because when there is heat, then there comes another time that is windy, that is cool. Just a problems are never ending. Find somebody with whom you're comfortable sharing with. Problem shared is half. Find people in your circle who gas you, who would get you, people you can run to, maybe not in terms of financial help, but give you more support. And then pray to God Almighty. We all go through certain things, and you'll be surprised that some people who seem to be high and mighty go through pressure too. We just all need to learn how to manage the pressure. So back to my last question, the last question I got on this segment. This Q&A section on this segment. Today's segment is from Teniola, my wife, my used to be little wife, my baby girl. That's my own girl. It goes by Queen at Melanie Queen underscore on Instagram, plenty underscore, but you can find her. So first question goes, this is another. Tenny is one of those sweet men in my life. People that always try to kill me, like in a sweet manner, like in a sweet way. Like, how can somebody ask me for questions? She always comes through like that. No breathing space, like she breathes now, and I love that about her. Always wanting to know more, gather more knowledge and share more with you. Thank you, baby girl. So first she has here 4 questions. Me, I will not lie. I won't lie. I don't know if I'll be able to get 4 questions. To be honest, might be low. So my view on long distance relationship. This is like it's like a topic on its own. It's serious. It's huge. Like I say, change is constant. I used to have a view, or what I thought was my view on it, but then times change, things change, situations often switches, and then like I said earlier, you just gotta keep an open mind as much as possible. Like, you never know what life is going to dictate. You might think you have it all set or have it all figured out, the plan is all good, and then there's going to be a storm, and then you need to change set your sail, and then change your route, or go elsewhere. Long distance relationship, some would say impossible. I used to say impossible, but then I think I realized, in line with what we've discussed so far, is your level of attention and then commitment, but more or less even use commitment, the level of commitment with which you got going for each other. Nothing is guaranteed. No outcome is guaranteed. No ending is certain. Even the ones you are with each other, there is no certainty here. So, but the same pressure, not pressure per se, excuse me, I'm still caught up in that whole pressure, no pressure joke. The same energy with which you're giving the relationship, that you're seeing each other not daily, but every now and then, that you're close to each other, the same energy you gotta give it to the long distance one, the same commitment. You just gotta stay committed. Nothing is guaranteed. Keep working for it and see, and hopefully it ends well. So it's a possibility. It can work. It's worked for some people. I think it's all about you knowing what works for you, and then making work what you want to work for you. So it's not alien. It's not impossible. So the third one is, do you really think 2 people can know each other well by just communicating over the phone only? Well, I guess in line with the long distance thing, of course, communication is key. You just need to know what you're looking for, what you want to hear, or what you need to hear actually is the right thing. Like, you can tell about a person from just a conversation or 2. Like I was saying, you can tell about a person from a conversation or 2. You just need to know, put your ears to the ground. You know what you're looking for, you know what you want, you know what you need actually. So is this what you need? And then the moment you hear something similar to what you need, you're like, this is it. And then you just go right for it. I mean, it has worked for people. You just have to have the faith, the belief, and then, keep working for it. And I'm sorry, I deflected a little bit there. Do you really think two people can know each other well by just communicating over the phone? Yeah. Oh, of course, it can work. You can know about the person. Of course, then you can never know if a person is hiding. It's not. You cannot. You don't have control over that. You can only be yourself. And let the other person be themselves too, and hopefully they're being a truthful self. They're being true to themselves. But then, don't be too caught up in the paranoia of, just notice. Take note of the patterns. Check the signs. Is this what I want? Is this what I need? Is he being, or is she being what I want? And communication is key, whether over the phone, whether in person. Just make sure you have it, and you have the right one. You have it going for you. I just hope I touched that well enough. I hope you guys are not disappointed, please and please. And then that would be all for now, and I won't be able to take your first question, Tenny. I really am low on some resources right now, so we have to wrap it up real quick. And then thank you for everybody who's joined me so far on, who've contributed to this this vlog, who's always come through for me. Thank you to the people who are coming to join us in no time. I call you all my darlings, and I'm your favorite girl. And then a huge thank you. And again, the short introduction. This is Reading Mind and Groove with your humble host Imani. Imani with the 28K. Hey, original virus cartel. Hey, Naija love. Imani Asada Savali, Imani La Phantom, Big Girl, Little Baby, Poppy Energy, Spiritual Goddess. Thank you for joining me. Ciao, ciao. Thank you so much. She don't want to play games, I respect that. No lies, man, I'm telling you the truth. Everything mad when I pull up with the goons. So rock boys, we ain't fucking with the goose. Big racks, that's money.